So we are going to go through how to sign up and create an account on BetterEducate as a teacher. We'll talk about setting up your profile. We're going to go over some of the networking features and the resource features, and then we'll also talk about creating a password-free classroom space in case you want to use the tool for that. So first we're going to talk about signing up and creating your account. So we're going to go to bettereducate.com/teachers, which takes us here. And you can read some information here about what some of the highlights of BetterEducate are. There's a little video that you've maybe already seen there if you want to watch. And then we're going to click Join Now. And there's a reminder here that it's free with your promo code. So once we get to the sign up page, it does say it's going to be $50 a year. But if you have a promo code, I don't know why it's going to default to that. We're going to use BC 2020. Okay, we're going to apply that promo code, and now it's not going to charge us anything. And then you're going to create your own username. That's what people will see about you, and your password, your email address goes in there, your name, where you live, etc., whether or not you want to get emails, and then you're going to click sign up. Don't forget to choose your district too. And you can also choose what levels you work with. And then you'll get an email just for you to confirm that, and then you'll be all set to go, and you'll come to BetterEducate.com and you'll click in on login. So, oops. I'll just, I already have an account, so that's why I'm not actually showing you how to fill in all that sign up information. Oh, for some reason it still wants to look at that page. We'll go to the dashboard. So one of the things about BetterEducate is there are multiple ways to navigate through the site, which can be a little confusing, but once you get used to it, it's actually really handy because sometimes you want to be able to use these buttons here on what's called the dashboard, which is over here, and then you'll see that some of the things are really similar over here. So you've also can navigate to your resources here, you can do some collaboration here, you can look for educators here. Then there's also this top section here. You can click on your profile. That's for editing resources. You can quickly share something if you want. You might be doing some bundles, stuff that you're following. If you have unread resources, that's where those show up. Here's where you can chat, and then this is your area that's got all your other, again, more ways to look at everything. So if you're connected to more than one kind of network within BetterEducate, they show up here. So I am currently looking at, I think, what teachers see when they're in here. That's why I'm on the BC part of the site. So we're going to have a look at our profile first. And I believe when you first get signed up and you sign in for the first time, it actually prompts you directly to this. If it doesn't, though, where we got here was through dashboard. We click on profile. The only option in here is your biography. We click on that, and it brings us to these different steps. Another thing about multiple parts of the site is that they're often laid out like this, step 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. You don't actually have to do things in that order, so keep that in mind. Like if you don't want to write about your education experience yet, you could skip over to adding a photo or your video, so you can go back and forth between these. It doesn't have to be done sequentially. So you're going to put in your contact information, save and continue. You can put in your current educational experience, past experience. Again, you share as much as you want to, right? This is a site where other educators are going to look. As you can see, I have no interest in sharing a bio. I've never got around to that. You might have one that you add in yours. Photo, Sean Lockhart took that photo and set it up on my account for me in the very beginning, so there it is. If you have a video that you want a YouTube link associated with your profile, you can put that in there too. And then we get to experience tags. And these are, I actually skipped these in the beginning of setting up my account, and then I realized how important they are, and I went back and added some. This is the easiest way to find people who have common interests with you, or who know about or want to know about the things that you are interested in on BetterEducate. And so to add an experience tag, you basically just come through here. You'll see all the different tags that people have created. So let's say I'm really interested in anxiety. So I'm going to click on anxiety. And now that tag is connected to my profile as an educator on the site. I can also remove that tag by clicking on it again. So if it's colored, you're connected to it, and if it's not colored, you're not. So there are lots and lots and lots and lots. I mean, we're only at D here. So as you can imagine, there are tons of tags to look for, and if you go all the way to the bottom, you can actually add things that don't exist yet as well. And actually, I should go to the bottom so I can show you where we're going to go done. Okay, so then we're going to click on done. And then when people go to look at your profile, so I'm going to click on here and show you what it looks like when you're looking at someone's profile, you'll see all the tags are here. And that is a way that people can find me. So if someone else was searching for an educator, under educators over here, we're going to search by tag. And if we search by anxiety, there are 20 educators who have the tag anxiety associated with their account. And there you go. I showed up. So now I know these are some people I might want to connect with, because these are people who are also interested in anxiety or have some experience with it, and I might want to follow them. So that's how the experience tags work under your profile. Once you've got your profile kind of set up, and you'll see under profile, it's listed biography, which is what we looked at, and then growth plan self-assessment. That's actually for the BC Principals and Vice Principals Association. So when you go to profile, you won't see growth plan stuff, because you don't have to do a self-assessment and a growth plan. So going back to the dashboard, that was our profile. Then we're going to have a look at our network features. So there are many different ways to connect with people on BetterEducate. One of them is following people who have specific skills or interest areas, exactly like what we just did. So if we click on that, it takes us to that page that I actually already showed you, where we searched for this. Right now is just everybody on the site. And you can see that I have favorited, liked, followed Sean Lockhart. And so that's one way that you can follow people and see what they're sharing. You can search by tag, you can search by name, or subjects as well. So you're looking right now at all educators. Okay, I don't know why I did that when I clicked on that. And then, yeah, when you click on the educator, you can see their profile. You can read their bio. You can have a look at their experience tags and see if it's someone that you might want to connect with. So there were two ways to get to this. The first way, we went dashboard, network, leaders and learners and leaders, or we can just click right on educators over here. These two buttons go to the exact same place. Then we've got what's called a classroom. For the BC Principals and Vice Principals Association, it's actually still called a BackBEat, I think. But for us, it's called a classroom. You can also get to classrooms by going to your area up here, and you find this little speech bubble, and that'll take you to the classrooms. A classroom is exactly what it says here, a room for engagement. This is going to be a space where you can ask a question or ask for some input, and you send the link out to people, and they'll come to the space and respond to what it is you've asked. So this is not open to all of the people in BetterEducate. This is open to whoever you send the link to. So you can see I have some classrooms that are currently live. Some of these are left from setting up for back to school when I was actually having students oh, there we go. I did one this fall. I said, tell us how you feel about back to school, type your comments or upload a picture to share, and check back to see what your classmates have added. So you can see that my students followed the link, and then they just make up a nickname because they don't have BetterEducate accounts. So they're able to upload files, etc. though. So we're going to go back to the classrooms section, and I'll show you how you actually create one. So we're going to go create a classroom. You're going to give it a name. So let's say you're having a staff, I don't know, you and your colleagues are talking about, different ideas you have for, say, a fall writing project. So you might call your classroom Fall Writing Ideas. You can't have spaces in your title, just so you know. It'll tell you if it's available. If it's not available, it just means you've already created a classroom with that. A classroom's already been created with that name. You're going to give it a description. Share your ideas here for fall writing. K to, I don't know, 3, let's say. You can decide how long you want to keep that link live for. I prefer to just always choose a year because then because I'm always further behind schedule than I am. Then we're going to choose more options. And do you want people to add files? So on something like this, you probably do, because some people are just going to upload maybe an actual worksheet or something they've got, or a lesson plan. Who is going to be able to see the files? Is it just you as the owner of the page? Well, in this instance, you probably want all the teachers who are using your classroom to be able to view what's put in there. And then you can decide if you want everyone to see a transcript, etc. And then we're going to go start classroom. So here it is, fall writing ideas. Share your ideas here for fall writing. I can type my own comment in here. That'll be under my name. I can upload a file. And then if I want to share this, all I have to do is copy the URL up here. And then I'm just going to paste it into an email that I send to people, and they'll be prompted to come to this page. They don't have to have a BetterEducate account to be able to add a file or a comment. So like I say, this is something I actually use with my students. They can come in to pages here and have a look at what each other has shared and said. So that's how a classroom works. It's and then when I come in, you can see there it is right there. I can see only one person's viewed it. It was me. There's actually no resource, but it always defaults to say 1 for some reason. So I'm going to delete that classroom because I don't actually want it. So that's called a classroom. So we went to our dashboard, we went to network, and we went to classrooms, which creates a space where you can have people sharing ideas based on following a link that you send them, which is different than collaboration, okay? To navigate to collaborate, we can come from here or we can go over here. A collaboration is a forum within BetterEducate. So this is a question you're going to post out to everyone on BetterEducate. So if you're looking for ideas about, here we go, Kevin Reimer is looking for maintaining school culture in a pandemic. So he's got a question here. How is your school planning on addressing all the fun school activities that build culture? Like, what are we doing for Halloween? We have all already done that. So you might think of some ways that you did and share them on there. Sadly for Kevin Reimer, no one actually responded to this. But you just type in your response. You can add a file or a picture to respond to it. Once the thread gets going, it's just like any sort of, like Twitter or anything. Like you can reply to a specific person or to the original question. So that's collaborate. If you want to add a topic, you just click on new topic. And it'll guide you through what's the question, any details, are you adding a file, and you can tag. So I could, again, put anxiety in the tag, and then it'll show up when people are searching for tags. And you can choose, again, you probably only have the option of BC teachers, depending on how you're connected to BetterEducate. So that was collaborate. So I'm not actually going to create that collaboration. And you can look at all of the questions that other people have added here. When you publish your question, I believe an email goes out to everyone in the community too, so people can see. Here's one that actually has some responses. So someone was just wondering about how people are handling the cohorts heading back to school, and then you got a few different answers here about what people are doing. So that's under collaborate. So that's one way we can network. And the final networking feature, so we can follow people and see what they're up to. We can create our own link for people to have a discussion or share ideas. We can post a question to everybody or respond to questions from everyone. And then you can also chat with specific members. There are 2 ways to get to chats. You can do it here, or you can use this right here with the little speech bubbles. And you'll see when we get to chats that my most recent chat is probably going to open right away. Oh, it's a little slow today getting to chats. So you can just search for an educator to chat with. You can also do a group chat. Like I can set one up for my staff. So I've got a staff group chat that I can use, and I think they're down here. Yeah. And so I can add members to it and then chat it out to our whole staff group if you wanted to. Or you can just search for people, and this is exactly what it's called, a chat room. So you're going to send the message, people are going to respond. It looks exactly like a chat does on your phone. They have added this feature, which is really awesome, that you can actually send a picture, which is really handy because I get a lot of people chatting me questions about how to do things in BetterEducate, and it's super handy that I can now send you a screenshot that shows you exactly where to click or what it is you're looking for. So if you ever have any questions that you're not sure about something, please do feel free to send me a chat through BetterEducate. And you get an email when someone chats you as well, if you set up your email to do that, which is really helpful as well. So that was through the dashboard, network, and chats. Or just right up here next to your little picture, you can have a look at your chats there. So those are the networking features. So we're going to head back to our dashboard again. So we've been over profile, we've been over network, and now we're going to go over resources. So when we go to resources, you will see that you can explore. So we can browse resources, you can create and add your own resources, you can bundle resources if you want, and then sharing. To me, these are kind of the same, sharing resources, I guess, with specific people rather than with the whole group. So exploring resources, this button is going to get us to the same place as this one over here. Okay, so just so you know, this one takes you straight to the resources. So this is going to show us any resources that have been recently shared. Here is Ian Landy's rant on anxiety and mental wellness in school. Oh, look, it's because it's currently searched for resources tagged with anxiety because that's the tag I just looked for. So we're going to go back to all. There we go. Okay, and Kevin Reimer's got a wellness tracker. Cool. Very cool. And then we've got all kinds of resources being shared. So you can search again by tag. You can search just, math, science. BetterEducate has primarily up until now been used mainly by the Principals and Vice Principals Association in British Columbia. So a lot of the resources are focused on leadership. And my hope as a teacher is that now that we have more teachers using the site, we'll have more and more teaching resources being shared on here, like math multiplication rules, for example, Ryan McGregor's shared. So if you want to look at any of these resources, you can just click on them and you'll see this has got a little description, and then there's a file here. If I click on this, it's going to download straight to my computer because it's a Word document, and then I can have a look at that resource. So we're just going to navigate back to resources. Looks like Ryan's is a PDF, so I think we'll be able to look at it right away. Yeah, so again, he hasn't even put in a description, but he's shared, here's his math thing, and there it is. If I like this, I can print it for my class, I can save it, etc. So that is browsing the resources. And again, you can search by tag, so we could have a look at that anxiety or science, or I put one in. I wonder if I actually tagged it. No, I did. I put a trumpet warm up one time that was on here, but I must have tagged it with music. Anyway, so if we go back to our dashboard, that was resources, and that was explore resources. So having a look at the different resources that are on here. Then you can create or add your own resources. And don't worry, you don't have to share them. So we can get there either through the dashboard like we just did, or we use this editor right here. This page that we're on right now is called the editor, and it's where you add resources. So I have a lot of resources added. As you can see, I have 107. However, not all of them are published. So you can see here that a bunch of mine have this kind of pinkish color. Those are all what's called inactive. Those are not things that I've published to the community, because this is how we ran our school in emergency remote learning. So the resources are still there, and I can share the link with people to view them, but they're not live to everyone. These resources are live to everyone, the ones that are white in the background. So for example, I put together this for our staff. There were about I don't know about you, but in the beginning of emergency remote learning, there were about 600 emails within the first week of getting ready that all had important documents in them. And I just felt like this is insane. I can't keep track of all of this. So I set up this resource for our staff, which is just one link that would take them to all of the stuff that they needed. So again, like that's exactly the description I gave. I'm trying to collect all that stuff that's been emailed out to us in one place. Let me know if there's something we need. So then I put in a bunch of how-to videos, like how to make a Google survey. Here's a build a Bitmoji classroom tutorial, making a playlist in YouTube, using this BetterEducate for a classroom, collecting student work. So a bunch of how-to videos there, like a million of them. And then some links, keeping Zoom secure, the link to our online school, a couple other videos we had, the ministry planning guide, our health and safety information, our learning plan template that we used, our weekly schedule sample, the COVID protocol from our school. So it's just all in one place, which was really helpful. So again, to get to our editor or to add a resource, we go here. So here's how you actually add a resource. So let's say you find something really awesome that you think that people would like to see. You come in here. Again, you can actually do these. Once you've done page 1, you can flip between these other pages in any order you want. We're going to give it the heading of, I don't know, maybe this is a great like science, at-home science experiments. Okay. What level is it? Is it primary? Is it intermediate? Is it middle school? Or is it just general? I leave a lot of my stuff as just general, but the tags do really help. Is this curriculum? Yes. It's also going to be science. And then I'm going to post this as myself. Okay, under more details is where you find that description button. So then maybe I'm going to actually write a bit of information like this is a great resource for students who are learning from home, if that's what you're doing, let's say. I like to click show description at the top. I don't know why we would ever want the description at the bottom, but that's the default. So then I'm going to save and next. And then if there's a YouTube video to go with it, I'm just going to copy and paste the URL there and save it. I can add a photo, can upload that. I can add any files that I have. I can add links to a website if I want to. And then I get to my publish, so I can choose if I want to publish it now or if I want to publish it later. I can choose if I want to publish it to everyone. I can say no, that's allowed. I can publish it to a group if you've set up a different group rather than just the teachers. So I can just publish it to teachers. I can actually just publish it to my staff if I want. So I have some options there in publishing to a group. Or you don't have to publish it and it will still be saved. So remember that. You don't have to publish. Publish is share with everyone on BetterEducate. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. The other thing you can do in your resource is you can invite other people to edit the resource with you. So maybe you and a teacher together want to set up your co-teacher. You want to set up a space for your kids to use, which I'll talk about later, but you might want to invite them. So as long as they are on BetterEducate, you can add them. So I could add Sean Lockhart, the principal at my school, to this resource, and then he can add things. So I just click add member. Sean will get a little notification that says you've been invited to come and edit this resource, and then he has the same access that I have to edit the resource. Okay, so we're going to go back to that beginning of that resource. Okay, so then the other thing that you can do in your resource, I'm just going to go to one of these ones that's here's our at-home science right here. No views. So that's the one that we just created. I can also preview it here. There's nothing in it, so I'm not actually going to click on that, but you can preview it and you can share it using this link. Okay, this link works outside of BetterEducate. So if you are not a BetterEducate member, but you get an email with this, and you click on the link, it'll take you here, and you can actually view it. So there's the description I wrote. There's the title I gave, and then if there were any videos or links, there they would be. And of course, I don't actually want that resource. So we're going to go in here, and I'm actually going to delete this resource because I don't really need an extra one cluttering up all my business. Okay, so that's how you create a resource. And then if you did publish it, it shows up under resources here. It would be the first one at the top because it's the most recently sent in, and people would be able to see what you had published if you publish it to all of BetterEducate. That is how you share a resource. So create a resource. You can also do what's called bundle resources if you find lots of resources that people have put on that you really like. And you want to put them into like an anxiety section or something. There's a way to do that. That's kind of an advanced skill for using the site. So I'm not going to actually go over that right now, but just to keep that in mind. Now I want to show you how we used this resource creation to make a student space, a community space in our emergency remote learning. So you'll see in here in some of my unpublished resources, here's our CLES virtual school. It says it's inactive, but in fact, with the link, people can still view it. So we emailed out our families right near the beginning the share link. So this is what families see. Now, obviously, it was last updated in June. So have a great summer, everyone. See you in September. We have little pictures and contact information for all of the staff over here so that people could find us. We did a farewell message, obviously on Zoom. Our kids made a little video, We Are CLES, which we set to music, which was very cool. We had another daily, what are you doing at home pictures that we put to music. This is our school dog sending a little message. And then we had links down here to all of our classrooms and our, like the library. So again, and so the library was created in Google Drive using Google Slides. And if you click on the book, it just goes to a YouTube video. That'll read the story. Same with the music room. This is also a Google slide published to the web and then just linked to our resource. We had a virtual tour of our high school made, which was great that they sent us. Our ADST room is the same thing. There's just a link to some other activities like an outdoor explorers page, reminder about this was all of the COVID stuff that came from the government. We created a Q&A for how to like online stuff because we did have a lot of parents contacting in the beginning. How do I do this? How do I do this? So we sent that out. And then each of our classrooms had a link. We didn't leave all of them live for the summer, but like our K1 classroom was. So again, this is a BetterEducate link for our K1 students with all of their work for the week. So here's their little classroom stuff, summer reading club, their library, their music, doing some stretching, older files just put into a link there. And then here's all their cool activities they were doing, beginning sound games, word games, tracing letters, a pattern game, all kinds of stuff that can be added to this one resource. And again, you can see this even if you're not signed into BetterEducate. So our parents had this exact link, and they'd just come here, they'd scroll down, they'd find their child's work, we used to have up on here the Zoom schedule for the week with all of the links in it so that parents could just click right on the link, and none of it required a password. So if you wanted to set up a page like that, you would go into your editor and you go add resource, and then you just set it up exactly like that. So you'll see on the back end of this virtual school, I've added the here's the welcome, there's that have a great summer, show the description at the top, yes. Here are all the video links that we added from YouTube. Those are all the photos there that we uploaded. Here are all those links that we put in. There's the file. And then again, on publish, we did not publish. We just clicked share. copied that link, and emailed it out to our families. So you could email a link out to your students, and then you've got this online space that does not require a password where you can disseminate information. And the only people who can see it are people who have the link. People in BetterEducate can't see it, etc. So that's going to Editor, Add Resource, and then go through the process of adding all of your stuff into the resource. And you can just continue to update it, and every change you make, once people go to the link or refresh the link, the changes will be reflected. So that's how we created our online space. And I'd sometimes link in one of those classrooms again with a question in it, and students would respond, and that link would just be put onto the page, onto the website as well. So that's how we did that. So overall, that's your profile features, your networking, a little bit about resources, and there is a separate video about school growth planning if you're interested in learning about that, that you can find under resources in BetterEducate, or if you follow me, look in my resources and you will find it there. Thanks so much.